Welcome to Awesome Exiles.
I fancy some Wotsits. Don't know why I randomly said that. I just fancy some Wotsits.
I don't even know what that is.
They're British Cheetos.
Oh,
They are made by the same company, by the way.
they just call them Whatsits.
They call them Wotsits, but we do also have Cheetos, but Cheetos are looked upon as like the budget version of Wotsits here.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it's quite a massive following here in the UK. Wotsits, but Cheetos, the only way you can see them is like in department stores and like bargain bins at like home bargains for like 38p per packet.
I could just see having that name here. You go into the store and say, "Could I have some Whatsits?" And they look at you like, "What? Whatsits?" I know. I'm trying to figure out what it is you want.
There was an advert made by Captain Sensible, who made the cover of Happy Talk. He actually wrote the song for the What's It advert. It's quite an interesting advert, by the way. It's really interesting. It's like all 3D animation. Then again, this was like back then when they were owned by Golden Wonder, but now they're owned by Walkers, which is owned by Pepsi.
That just reminds me of the candy bar, call it.
Who
comes up with these names?
Yeah.
Imagine like just having like a pack. You get a drink of Surge. Surge. You got your packet of crisps, which is your Wotsits, and you got your chocolate bar, which is whatchamacallit.
So what are you having there? Whatsits? Whatchamacallit? Oh, well, do you know what the names of them are?
The names. Yeah, Wotsits. The best way I could say they basically taste a lot more like they're quite baked, because instead of like them frying it, they like bake them in like the oven. It's quite nice. Same thing with mini cheddars. I also like them.
I think we've gone off topic here again.
We ended up just talking about British crisps.
Now I wish I had a snack.
I could just walk to the kitchen and just grab a packet of crisps, but I'm having a strict diet of having Marmite on toast for lunch and whatever my mum gets me for tea.
That sounds like a sad lunch.
Yeah, Marmite on toast. I love Marmite on toast. I have it with that and a packet of crisps. Mainly one of the bags, like I would either get like a packet of like Walker's French fries or squares. Yeah.
Okay, so back to the topic of music. What's the next best element to cover?
Releasing music.
Sure. Why don't y'all walk us through how y'all like to go through the process of releasing music?
I release music when I know I'm completed with it or fed up with it. I start off like giving everyone like the first demo, like rough cut of the track on like the old vid sites like Vidly, Drackle, at the time by Anko for like 2 days, and Blair when that was a thing. Well, it is coming a thing again, hopefully, which is good. And then if I know people like it, I'll release the final version of the track onto the album, which I hope to get this album released this year in 2021. My mate said that his deadline is this month to do all the mastering, but he has done most of the mastering for the album, which is good.
Well,
how about you, Linda?
I was going to say, as for me, mine's a little bit different. After I get the entire album done, I do let a couple people I trust listen to it and see if they think it's okay. And if they like it, then yeah, I go ahead and produce it. I was sending it off to Randy Everett for mastering and for putting out on CDs and doing the cover art and everything. And I lost contact with him. So I bought one of those little things where you can make your own CD labels. And I started just designing my own labels to that. And I was selling them through it started with Blog Talk back in 2012. But then later I was doing it through Unseen World, which I was on with Sandra Green. And we were selling them over the internet. We could sell them off the website, or they could email me and purchase them that way. And I was doing really good. And then all of a sudden CDs kind of lost favor. So I converted them all into manageable MP3s because the originals were on WAV file, and was selling them individually online through Twitter. Sometimes I'm not doing that anymore. Or Facebook. I'm not on Facebook anymore. And so right now I'm not actually selling anything. I'm just putting them out there to use with my video content or in my Spreaker shows. But yeah, it was pretty good when the CD craze was going on because I was making a good amount of money that way.
Now it's all like the niche items like mini disc, what's it called, DCC, the digital compact cassette one, even cassette, and records. But sometimes there's also still like a niche like audience for CDs. Like I am an avid CD collector, even though I haven't gone crazy money and spent like over 100 quid on like the Spitfire CD from the Prodigy. But hey, it's on Spotify.
I tend to collect CDs more for the fact that I can then rip the music off and put it on my phone and to go. If I'm listening for it at the home, I like to just because I've got myself a nice new record player. You ever heard of a Technics SLQ6?
Yes, I heard about Technics. They are like the dog's bollocks of audio.
Yeah, so this is one of the best models from the 90s. It's basically capable of playing a vinyl record like it's a CD. So you've got track select, repeat, skip. You've got a bunch of different capabilities on it. And it's really cool. So yeah.
I remember seeing a video about it from TechMoon. Is that where you heard it from?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I went for that specific model. It's just it really fit my needs for at the home listening.
Yeah, TechMoon is the reason why I collect mini discs now. Like I got a mini disc player. I would put like my own music on it along with some like Prodigy like albums I ripped from the CD and CDs, and then I just throw them on there. And I like using my mini disc mainly because mini disc, they were like everywhere back in the 2000s here in the UK, so they're like readily available here. Yeah.
Now, is the sound quality pretty good on mini discs?
The best way I could say it's CD quality. It's quite nice.
Pretty much, it's another digital medium, so you can definitely do some good quality with it, as long as you know what you're doing.
I'm not as familiar with mini discs because I've never used or had any mini discs. So,
like my one I actually got a good offer out of it. I actually got everything, including the box and the charger cradle and all that. But I would not recommend to use the charger cradle from like the actual Sony thingy because they are known to like crumble apart when you use them. So yeah, don't use the Sony ones. They are terrible. Just get like an external one. Just use it as that.
To be fair, most of them are probably 20, 30 years old now.
Yeah.
And starting to feel their age.
You want age?
My mini disc.
8 tracks.
I
hope those never come back.
Oh God, yeah, those things. Man, those things are such a pain when the sponge starts to go, and you've got to take the thing apart, replace it with a new piece of sponge.
Yeah,
I just don't like the way it cuts out in the middle of the song while it's changing the track. You start getting into the groove, and all of a sudden, dead space, and that comes back to the song. That drove me crazy.
It's the same thing with cassettes, really. People like I do like the compact cassette. Like it's quite a cool product for its time, but I didn't see it being like used. But then again, it does have its benefits. Like it makes people listen to the whole album instead of like, oh, I want to listen to this track, and then they just press a few buttons and all that. I prefer to listen to the whole album than just to listen tidbits of it. That's why I like when I got like my Cassette Boy discography, which is Cassette Boy is like cut and paste comedy people, which like they make like comedy from like cut and paste and stuff. I just sat there just listening to it and I was just in a maze. I was like, this is some great stuff right here.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
comedy should be continuous. Music, on the other hand, is subjective, and there may be tracks that somebody doesn't really like and they want to skip over them.
This month, what's it called? With Disturbs. Like, everyone skips the ending of the Disturbs Down with the Sickness, because, well, let's be honest, no one wants to listen to that ending.
I never heard that album.
You know,
Uh,
get down with the sickness, come on. It starts with, oh, wow!
Nah, I never heard of it. I'm more of a techno head.
Yeah, no, I'm not familiar with that.
Me either.
Surprised, considering it was pretty damn popular back in the 2000s. But my point is, there's definitely good reasons for wanting to be able to skip things.
Yeah, as far as how I listen to music, I've listened to stuff on the just through YouTube and things like that. But I say things like that mainly just YouTube. I actually don't use Spotify personally.
Okay.
But as far as like actual physical devices that I use, I actually do have multiple MP3 players that I do listen to music on. Still, that's mainly how, if I'm not just sitting at a computer, if I'm out and about or up and about and doing things or whatnot, that's what I'm using. It's also a lot of the way I also listen to podcasts as well.
Yeah. I would like to talk about like how I actually could we like I got a good topic we can go on, and what about like inspiration of like music and stuff, like how like music starts like to write in your brain and all that. Because I got some interesting stories on like how some of like the tracks from the album I'm gonna release soon is actually which I'm gonna release soon hopefully. It's quite cool actually. So would you like to hear it?
Please.
Sure.
Yeah, there's this one track which I wrote called 0891, which you can kind of see like on my custom status. It got like this phone number where it says 0891 50 50 50. It started off with like one of my mates in like in a group. They said you better sample this song or I was not buying your effing album. And I was like, charming. And I listened to the song and was like, yeah, I should sample this. And I sampled it, and it actually came out great. I would say it's like one of the highlights for the Smash album. So yeah, it's quite a good track. Another one which I would say is the track Home, which is the one which is like the one which ended up getting me slapped on the wrist by the record company. I had like the Gotta Go Home song like stuck in my head. And I had like this like breakbeat like sound in my head, like, oh, this could work. And then I didn't have like my tablet at the time. It was like back at home while I was like holiday. And then when I went back home, the first thing I did, I went on my tablet and I got the vocals of Gotta Go Home, and I got like this breakbeat on it, and I put it together, and it just built on then, and it's like the greatest. It's like one of the greatest tracks I ever write, but hopefully I can easily like release it or something.
That is so fun when you can find things to put together like that to make something completely different. For Christmas,
Yeah.
I bought myself the Magix Music Maker, and they've got the pre-recorded loops in there. And I bought the
Yeah.
I've got that.
and I bought the Arctic Dubstep, and I was playing with that, and I came up with a few songs. Now, the problem with Magix, if you're using their pre-recorded loops, is the copyright. If you're going to make money off of it, you can't do that. Since I'm not monetized, I went ahead and just put together some stuff, and sounds a little 80s. Some of it sounds earlier 80s, and some of it's dubstep, and I just had a lot of fun putting that together. It was easy rather than having to put each note into each thing on your workstation. It was
That's why. Oh, sorry, I'll let you speak.
or patterning every single drum beat. It was easy. You just pick something you like, put it on there, pick something else you like, put it with it, tweak the what key you want it in, what chords you want it in. set your tempo and go. And you got a song in less than a half an hour.
Yeah, that's how like most of my songs start. I'll be like listening to like the sample packs I got, which is the ones which are mainly made by Alternate, Daniel Billy Bunter, and I think what's it called? The other person, all I just know is made by Daniel Billy Bunter, and there was another one which is made by Alternate, and I also got like the famous ones, which is like what every like '90s musician used, which had like these cool stabs and all that. I used that as well, but it always starts off with me like listening to like drum beats, and then it just comes into like a tune and stuff. Sometimes I'll be like playing something like, remember there's like this one track which I wrote called Spring. That's going to be on the album After Smash, hopefully, and I just played on the Spring, which is like next to my microphone. So I put my microphone next to it and I just strummed it, and it actually came out a proper like good down tempo track. I like it.
I have a microKORG and it has the vocoder on it. And one day I sat down and just put a bunch of stuff together that I wrote off the microKORG and then used the vocoder on it. It sounds like an AI. And that particular song is called AIET Rave. It talks about, getting the AI to party and to dance. And at the end, then I put a spaceship sound effect in there that I made and inviting the extraterrestrials too. And it was kind of a representation of what Awesome Insanity Surfers comedy was, because in addition to Dawson and I doing our different characters and our different voices, I also used text-to-speech as actual characters on the show, just like they were people. And then we also had an ET on there that I did the voice for, that you couldn't understand what he said, but the one character could translate for him. And and I sent that AIET Rave video to Dawson, and he said, "This is it. This absolutely represents what we are."
Yeah, I like when like an idea randomly pops up. I remember like I still got my synth. I got like the Behringer 101 like replica thingy, and I would like pick pictures of like presets I like, and I would like play around with it, and I would see if I can like transfer like convert it into like a Poison 202 patch. And sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it sounds like I'm playing with a bee's nest.
Oh no!
Yeah. And the other one, which I got, is a synthesizer. Well, it's not really a synthesizer. It's like the 3A3 replica from Behringer. I got quite a lot of Behringer stuff, so yeah.
Well, I have one of each of the major three keyboards. I've got Korg, I've got Moog, and I've got Roland. So I'm happy with those. They do what I need them to.
There's one like Roland thing I would love, like 100%. It's the W30 from Roland, because it's the keyboard Liam Howlett used. It's like, because it's like the freaking keyboard which helped to write the song Charlie, basically, and basically made the front face of the 90s music and all that.
I take that back. There's one more I wouldn't mind getting, but it's the most expensive of the group, and that's Oberheim. I fell in love with the Oberheim sound in the 80s.
I know like Behringer's trying to do like a clone of that, but I don't know when they're going to release it.
I'll keep my eye peeled.
I like Behringer things. Yeah, I like Behringer clones. They're really good. My favorite, my favorite one is their 3A3 replica. And there's one which I want to get my hands on, and it's their like 909 replica, because getting a 909 is basically asking for your house mortgage.
Oh, it sounds like Oberheim in the 80s.
Quality ain't cheap.
Nope.
That's something people forget, especially in the day of modern Chinese plasticky garbage.
Yeah. Then again, Behringer is Chinese, cheap Chinese rubbish. But then again, it's good, cheap Chinese rubbish. That's the reason why I like it, because you pay like 245 quid for it, and if it breaks, you're like, oh well, at least I haven't paid like $1,000 for something which broke for me.
I think the weirdest keyboard I ever had was the Korg MS-20, because it ran completely on patch chords. You had to know where to put those chords into what holes to get what sound.
Yeah. I know the Korg MS-20 was used quite a lot for Never Outgunned from the Prodigy. I want one of them synths. And also the synth was also used for Flat Beat, I think, from Mr. Owazo. You know, the simple like womp 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 womp, that bit.
Yeah.
It's quite cool about the MS-20 being known as like the most simple, like being used as the most simple thing. And also it's being used for Daft Punk, I think, from what I heard.
Oh, wow.
Daft
I
Punk,
love Daft
I think.
Punk.
Yeah, I think it was used for the track The Funk.
Huh.
Yeah. I would love to get an MS-20 one day, but trying to get an MS-20 Mini, that's like 500 quid. I don't want to spend that much on a synth.
No.
Yeah. One of my favorite synth YouTubers, I would also say, is the Audio Pills, who makes these videos called Bad Gear, where he like reviews like these like bad gear stuff. It's quite interesting. He even like reviewed like the MC3A3, which is like a groove box, and all it just sounded like was just either 90s hardcore music or techno music. It's just it's like a techno groove box because it was mainly made in mind for DJs and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen those. I thought they looked
Yeah.
interesting. Be something just to have around for the fun of it.
I had a 307 for like for like 2 months, but the problem is I couldn't fix it because getting the parts for it is freaking expensive. It'd be like you got to find like a bit of plastic, and then it was like nearly like 60 quid to get it, and I'm like, it just cost us just as much as the faulty product, so I didn't see what the point of it, so I just sold it on eBay for like 75 quid instead.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was having some issues with getting this to SLQ6 because the post office liked to smash the dang things.
Things didn't get started with freaking delivery companies. Hermes is the worst one, I would say.
Yeah,
It will probably make your post office look like they're freaking carrying it and giving it to freaking gold.
well, it wasn't. I think it was FedEx who delivered it. Either way, they smashed both of them, but luckily they were damaged in such a way I could get them Frankenstein together into one very nice machine.
Basically, for FedEx in the US is basically your equivalent to Hermes here in the UK, I would say.
Yeah, either way, a lot of them are not very good.
Then again, the only one which I haven't had problems with is DPD. They literally come to your door like the freaking day of the stroke of day. Like you see like a bit of sun, they're freaking right at your door with an iPad saying "say cheese" and then just take a picture of your parcel. So you have a picture of your parcel with your freaking front door of your freaking legs and feet. Just say yeah, it's being delivered. Well, you just like freaking half awake. Yeah.
But yeah, so either way, we should probably try to get. So, what other aspects of music and content creation do y'all want to discuss?
Well, I think a point that I think we've alluded to, but maybe haven't specifically, just is the types of music that the specific types of music that Linda and SKS produce.
I can throw in some tracks you would if you want, but I don't know if it would probably hit the content ID match.
Probably not gonna play any on the stream, but
I could probably throw in some tracks I haven't released yet. Let me look on my Dropbox. Everything's on Dropbox for me at this point. My life is on there. Yeah. The Smash. I could throw in an unreleased Smash track if I want to, because I know no one will probably listen to it.
well, that name's going to annoy me just because you know the Offspring album Smash.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's one track on that one I really hate the song Smash because it just ends in like 5 minutes of silence, and it's really annoying for playlists and just listening to music. It's like, oh hey, why is my music stopped playing for like 5 minutes? Oh, it smashed today.
That reminds me of 433, which is actually a track of silence except for room ambience. That's all it's meant to be.
Yeah, this one just had nothing at all.
I remember there was like this track from Scooter where it was like the silence of the Technics Mark II, and it was just static playing for like 2 minutes, and it just goes freaking crazy in like the last 10 seconds. It's quite interesting that. I'll send over a track which I might release or might not. I don't know. For God's sake, let me share it. Copy link. There we go.
Ooh.
I put it on the. Should I put it on podcast chat or documentation? What do you call it?
Either or. Just put it on the podcast chat.
Okey-dokey.
Valentine says in the chat, my Third Eye Blind disc did that too with the Blue album, but it was for 20 minutes instead.
Oh, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I get what you're going for, but you're just being pretentious about it now.
Well, as
It's
for
also
my
Yeah?
As for my music styles, they're all over the place. I do a lot of 80s kind of new wave stuff and 90s kind of stuff. And I do a lot of ethnic stuff, actually, and probably not considered politically correct anymore. But I've done like Latino, and I've done some reggae, and I've done even classical. I've got waltz music. It's just a variety of things. Techno, electronic stuff. More of my newer stuff is more in the electronics type range. AIET rave is like, dance floor music, basically. But yeah, it's a variety. In fact, I think I've even got one that sounds like it comes out of an Old West movie. So mine is just all over the place. There's a lot of ambient, spooky type things that I do. In fact, I posted one here for Doc's project a while back. It's called Insane Asylum. And it's got some interesting backwards kinds of effects in there. Just a variety of things I do.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So I was gonna say, honestly, the way I look at it, awesome is culture is meant to be shared and enjoyed by everyone. It's like
know.
just because, but you talk about it might not be politically correct, but people just like take things too serious. Like culture is supposed to be shared and enjoyed, and not hoarded to one little corner of the world.
I agree, but they're taking away Pepe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzales. I mean,
yeah, because
I would just surprised people will freaking go mad because barbecue sauce got tomato in it.
Yeah, because that's funny considering
barbecue sauce, it's tomato ketchup with dye on it. Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people. No, I'm not going to go into the specifics of that because that's going to be way off topic. But
yeah, I might go back. I might go and try and say about like my music and stuff. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. It starts off with the Raversland era, which goes from 2015 to 2017. Really. Well, it's all like 3 with a 909, and it just sounds like noise basically. Basically, the best song you can get out of it is it's like some hobo smashing a tin can of beans or screaming that he just bought like a 4-pack of them in Tesco's or something.
Is that experimental genre?
It's kind of like experimental, but it once you hear the music, you're like, nah, I don't want to listen to it anymore, because once you heard one song, it's exactly the same as the rest of them. It's like watching Little Britain. Yeah. Then you got the Dark Assault era, which is just every song is just too long, except for one good track, which is Underground Alleyway. It's a good track, by the way. Yeah, all the tracks on there are just as long as, I don't know, having a bath.
As I say, relating it back to video game music, honestly, my more experimental. I prefer more stuff like industrial, like have you ever played Silent Hill?
I've never played Silent Hill, no, but I heard about like the only thing about like Silent Hill 1 is about the fog, and I always reference it like when I'm in like areas when it's just fog, and it's like, oh my god, we're in Silent Hill again.
Yeah, me too. Where occasionally where I'm at, it'll get foggy, and I'll look outside or be outside in the fog, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can see where the inspiration for Silent Hill came from. Someone was out in the fog at some point, was like, I could make a game. We could make a game out of this.
Actually,
No, that's
the
because
inspirations, because Centralia, Pennsylvania, basically the town is abandoned, but it's been on fire for like 40 years. There's a coal fire under the town, which there's cracks going all throughout the town, which is releasing smoke all up into the whole town. That's where the inspiration for it.
well, isn't that the storyline for the movies? Because I don't remember anything like that in the games.
No, like that was just part of the inspiration. Is the for the behind the fog system.
Oh, right.
Well,
The only thing which is playing in my head right now, because all you heard is like fire under the ground, is the Prodigy track rolls on fire, and I just got it freaking like Maxim shout, "The farm's on fire!" in my head.
Yeah, but
copyright claim for that.
yeah, what I was talking
sorry.
about is I really like how Silent Hill does its music, at least the first game, because it's an industrial soundtrack. So like it uses a lot of clanging, banging, and just builds upon each other progressively, intensifies. Like the first, the alleyway track is really good. Sorry, Allie.
Yeah. I was gonna say the first Silent Hill game is probably the only game in the entire franchise that used the industrial type of soundtrack. I remember it because I don't remember the second or third games having that much industrial soundtrack. I remember it having a more soothing but spooky music. But the first one was very intense.
Oh yeah, I really remember the one that sticks with me the most is that alleyway theme. You know, as the sirens fade in, the fog encroaches, the light dims, and you have to use your lighter, and the music's just intensifying. Like it's really great for setting the atmosphere.
Already left.
Oh, excuse me.
Like I'll send y'all the scene later, so y'all can see what I'm referring to. But it's one of my favorites in games in general.
Yeah.
Sorry, my internet disconnected.
Sorry,
I get that problem sometimes. My area is terrible for internet.
yeah, I was basically just talking about how the alleyway scene's one of my favorites, Allie, because of how it uses light. The soundtrack, the siren slowly fades in and builds up as the lights go out. Then you have to pull out your lighter, and I really like the scene and how it uses the soundtrack to complement it.
Yeah, all of the scenes that involve the other world and Silent Hill 1 are pretty much the soundtrack of the scenes are pretty much incredible. I mean, have you heard My Heaven?
Oh yeah. Honestly, I think my other favorite song off that one is Not Tomorrow.
Lisa's theme, right?
Yeah, we're during that cutscene.
Yeah, that was some pretty sad.
Honestly, that is really impressive for a PS1 era game, how good the models look and the level of detail on the animation.
We have run out of time, but stay tuned as there is more to this discussion.